working on a lot of the leg strength. So legs, glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves, helping us to get into a lot of those areas. Know that the rule that we always have is still applicable today. If we're doing too many reps and your body says, I was happy 3 reps ago and you're still going, then take breaks. Sometimes you can go back into it if you take a break. And other times, that was enough, we're good. And our legs are something that carries us forward into all that we do in our life. It's that force that propels us into the next activity, to the next goal. And so as we're using our legs today, imagine that we're helping to strengthen our ability to propel ourselves toward whatever future we could possibly imagine. Now, that doesn't mean that the future is going to change today. And sometimes you hope that it does. It's like, I wish this could be something different. But it's almost like the law of attraction. By doing the good, strong things today, we're building that foundation so that tomorrow and the next day and the eventual future will be toward that destination that we can only dream of right now. And so with our leg strength to lead us into our class today, let's allow ourselves to begin just simply taking knees into the chest. And as you do a couple of nice circles, pay attention to the foundations of the legs. So this is the glutes, even the low back. And as you're doing all types of circles as wide as you can reach, start to pay attention to how some of the hip flexor muscles feel. And maybe even into the feet and the rest of the legs. Just taking an inventory for a moment, noting what's going on. How can I best take care of myself? And so from here, let's release our feet to the ground. Our hands are on the floor next to our hips. And let's take a few bridge poses. So inhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel the glutes squeeze and lift. Even the hamstrings can help you out right here. And then gently roll all the way back down. Inhale up. Remember to squeeze at the top, arching up ever so slightly. Exhale, rolling down. Repeating this a few more times. Remember, inner thighs squeeze together rather than splaying open. That's another way to help build that simple strength of the legs. Inhales and exhales. And it's also fine if you're going faster or slower than me. Always have that awareness. You're going at your own pace for your body. So here we're taking 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing efforts. Right away, leaving this right foot in place, lift the left leg all the way up to the sky. And feel how the foot on the ground helps you to be able to utilize a little bit more strength for lifting this leg up. Straightening it, lifting it tall. We're not using our hands right in this moment. We will adjust a little bit. But take a moment to point and flex this foot. Such a small motion, but you really can feel all sorts of things going on. When we're pointing, you can feel all those ankle muscles. Maybe they're a little bit tight today. When you peel back, you begin to feel the calf muscle. So pointing and flexing a few more times. And remember to keep the leg as straight as you possibly can. Send a lot of energy down the leg. Here we'll take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, allow your foot to point. The hands are on the floor next to the hips. And then 3 times with this leg already upright, try to lift the hips up and down. 2 and 1. Good. As you set back down, use the hands now. They can be around thigh. They can be around calf. At this point, flex the foot, using that flex to help us enjoy this deeper calf stretch along with the hamstrings. So just see how deep it's willing to stretch right at this moment. And then release the hands. Point the toes and lower this leg to hover right above the ground. Flex the foot, lift it all the way back up. Doing 10 total cycles. Here we're going down for 9. And flex. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. Back up at the sky. Point the toes. Take 1 huge circle clockwise, as wide as you can get this leg. And then 1 huge circle counterclockwise. Good. Now we're ready to bend the knee, plant the left foot, and allow this right leg to go up all on its own. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible. And we start off with pointing and flexing the foot. We're not in any sort of a rush, so really move through the whole range of motion. And checking in with your leg, is the quad able to contract just a little bit more to straighten out the leg? Point and flex. Here is 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. From here, leave the leg upright. 3 lifts. The foot on the ground pushes down to lift the hips up. And then relax the hips back down slowly. 2 more. And 1. Great work. From here, we can grab onto the leg. Maybe we're at the nice hamstring area. Maybe we're working up to calf. Take a stretch. And as we start to release, point the toes, lower the leg all the way to just above the ground. Flex the foot, lift it back up. Repeating 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. As you're back up, 1 huge circle counterclockwise. And one huge circle clockwise. Beautiful. Resting that foot down, feel that release of the muscles, that rush of blood coming back in toward the legs. And so from here, let's take another bridge pose, rolling up. This time we stay all the way up at the top. We can activate our calf muscles as we're holding here by gently lifting the heels up and lowering the heels gently back down. Don't feel like you need to slam it up and down. Try to use as much control as you can to feel that slow lift and lower. Here we're going for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rolling the hips back down. Take the knees back into the chest. Maybe a few nice little circles. Taking on some bicycles here. You're welcome to hold hands around the right knee to get started. Left leg hovers around the area of the ground. And so from here, when the left knee comes in, the right leg circles out, and right knee comes in, left leg circles out. Switching the hands on the knee each time. Exhale every time a knee comes in. If you'd like to increase difficulty, fingertips behind the ears and twist the opposite elbow to knee as it comes in. Three, 2, 1. And 1. Amazing work. Hands back onto the knees. Rocking them left and right for a moment. Feel that sacrum, that support right at the top of our legs. And then from here, both legs raise up to the sky. Again, try to engage the quadriceps so that you don't have a bend to the knees. Bending is fine if you need to make this easier, but engaging the quads, that squeezing of the thighs is how you add the additional challenge here. Hands are on the floor close to the hips. We choose how low we can lower our legs without lifting low back off the ground. And then exhale, bring it all the way back in. Inhale when we lower. Exhale, come back in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing work. Drop the feet down, the knees splay open. This sets us into a nice supine cobbler pose. So just enjoy this break. Enjoy the inner thighs opening for us. And then tilting the left knee over to the right knee, we find ourselves laying on our side body. With our head, you can rest the head on the upper arm, that's perfectly fine. If you're wanting to challenge yourself a little bit more, you'll prop yourself up on that bottom elbow. So that would be the right elbow underneath us. Our body starts off in a straight line, but then we swing the legs in just a little bit. So it's more like the shape of a banana that we're taking with our body. Remember, if you're lifted, we're not just collapsing, dropping down through those bottom ribs. Instead, pick it up and feel that nice spine and core engagement. Left fingertips are on the ground in front of us to help us find stability. From here, this top thigh rotates up to the sky. We do a quick kick up, slow lower down. Flex the foot, quick kick up, slow lower down. Make sure you don't just collapse through the shoulder. We're gonna repeat 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it down to rest for a moment. And then pick the top leg back up, bringing it level with the hip. While the toes are pointed, we allow ourselves to bend the knee and then extend the toes as far forward as they can reach. Flexing the foot, swing the leg all the way through the back space. Bend the knee and then extend up to the space in front of you. Flex the foot, swing it back behind. We've got just 5 more. 5. Point and extend forward. 4. Flex back. 3, 2, 1. Good. When we flex back, here's where we begin to reverse it. So now we keep the leg straight as we swing it forward, point, flex the foot, bend the knee, so you're swinging the heel close to the glutes to then extend back behind you. Pointing forward, flexing back. We've got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Drop it down. Bring both legs into cobbler's pose out in front of you. Spine getting this brief break to relax up and over. Feel that left leg very alive. We're gonna swing ourselves around to be on the second side body. This time right leg is up. Again, you're welcome to lay on the ground, head resting on the arm, or if you're keeping this lifted position, it's really hard, but try to keep those side ribs up. It's hardest when you kick up because it feels like I can go higher if I collapse, but that's not exactly what we're going for. We're going for this leg strength and not the height. So keep those side ribs engaged. Keep the fingertips on the ground to help shoulders and torso stay very stable. And then make sure you're in the shape of the banana. The legs are slightly forward. Rotate the top thigh up. And from here, point up, flex down. Taking 9. Keep on breathing. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest down for a moment. You're doing good. Okay, lifting it back up level with the hip. From here, pointing the toes, we bend the knee and then reach the toes forward, flex the foot, swing back. Pointing toes, bend the knee and then reach it forward, keep the leg straight, swing back. We've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we need to reverse it, and then we're done with this side. So when you're ready, from here, the straight leg kicks forward, and then point the toes, slide close to the glute as you reach back. Straight leg swings through the rainbow, all the way forward, bend the leg to reach back. Flex, and point. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Come back up and take that brief cobbler again. Now noticing how aligned the right side is. As we start to roll our spine back up, swing both legs toward the back of your mat. We end up on our bellies. Hands are simply planted right close to the shoulders right underneath the shoulders on the ground. From here, what the legs do, the legs start off, their wide position is just slightly wider than the mat. So start off feeling that position so you know within your body how wide that is. And so from here, lift the legs to hover just above the ground and then click the heels together. Flex, you click the heels together. Point, they separate. 2, 1, and then lift the legs higher, clicking 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Good. So that's our whole cycle, going low, 3 heel clicks, and then lifting higher, 3 heel clicks. So we're going to try to go for 5 more total cycles. So here's 5, lift them up just an inch above the ground, heel click, and point. 2, 1, lift higher. 3, 2, 1. Back to low. 3, 2, 1, and high. 3, 2, 1. Back to low. 3, 2, 1, and high. 3, 2, 1. 2 more rounds. 3, 2, 1, and high. 3, 2, 1. Last set, low. 3, 2, 1, and high. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Rest one of your cheeks down, just taking a nice break. Feel the release in your spine as you get to lay on the ground like this. Feel yourself breathing the belly into the earth, giving your intestines a little massage. Okay, lift the head back up in front of you. This time bring the legs just about to the spacing of your hips. From here, lift both legs up, and then it's almost like swimming. So one leg lifts and then the other leg lifts. Just continuously creating this motion. Continue to breathe, inhales, exhales. Three more breaths. After you finish that third breath, rest the other cheek down. Okay, from here, find the hands on the ground, helping to press us up into a nice kneeling place. And take 3 rounds of cat-cow. Feel the vertebrae rounding all the way up. And belly drop down, gazing up. Notice any of those spots in the spine that are feeling very alive. And that's how we know that the spine and the legs are so connected into one another. Okay, after all 3, find the neutral place and engage the powerhouse to help tighten the entire core area. From here, the right leg floats back behind us. We create a pattern that looks like this. We bring the right knee to the nose. We bring it back behind us, level with the hips. And then 3 times we squeeze the glutes to lift that right leg as high as possible. And then lower the toes to touch. 2, 1. Good, drop the right knee down. Left leg back, knee to the nose, and back. Lifting 3, and down. 2, 1, and left knee down. Going on to the right, curl into the nose, and lift, and lift, and lift. Left side, knee to the nose, and lift, lift, lift. Good, 2 more rounds each side. Here's right. And left. And right. And left. Amazing work. Wiggle the hips out, swinging them left and right, loosening up those connections that are right in that area. And if the wrists are having any troubles, rise up a little bit higher for a moment to roll through the wrists. Okay, from here, we're taking a kneeling half moon position. So we're gonna leave the left knee down and place the left hand down. Note that I turned to the long edge of my mat so that the left toes will swing back behind me from the long edge of the mat. That's what helps to make sure the knees are safe and the hips can stack off to the side. So we've got the left knee down, left toes behind you, left hand down. Start to stack this right hip and try to bring the leg, that right leg level with the hip. The other hand can be just at your side or reaching up to the sky, your choice. So from here, we're gonna go for little tiny circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse the direction. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest the foot down for a moment. We've got one more thing before we move on. Okay, lift the leg back up. Now we do tiny kicks forward, 2 small kicks forward. It's not going all the way in front of us. We're only going to the point where we cannot have to move the torso at all. So 2 tiny kicks forward, 2 tiny kicks back. Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, drop that foot down, rise up to a nice high place, and slide the right hand on the right leg, circling left hand up and over. Rising torso back up, plant the hands onto the ground in front of you, or perhaps drop down to elbows. Try to flatten the low back, sticking the sitting bones back to really enjoy and accentuate the stretch. And then walking it back up onto the hands, start to turn the torso toward that straight right leg and take that stretch over the leg. Good work. The right knee drops down to the ground. The left leg swings wide. And we prepare for the half moon pose on the other side. So right hand plants, right knee plants, left hand lifts or is at the hip, and left leg lifts. From this place, we're ready for those little tiny circles with the leg. So going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the leg down for a brief moment with a break. And then as we lift it back up, 2 small kicks forward, 2 small kicks back. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing work. Rising up high, slide the left hand down the left leg. Right hand gets to reach up and over. Rising up, we can drop down to hands or even down to elbows. Try to flatten the low back. Coming up onto hands, start to walk the hands to surround the straight leg and bow forward. Okay, when we swing this leg back, take a moment with downward facing dog. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the hips, find some movements for a moment. Lift the left leg high up to the sky, and then swing that foot forward in between the hands. We're still trying to balance on the back toes. If you cannot balance there, you can rotate the heel down. It just makes it a little bit more funky where we're headed next. So from here, walk the hands up to the thigh. The back leg is trying to straighten as much as possible. Front knee can be bent. Sweep the arms up overhead. And so from here, we're taking it back and forth between two positions. So first, the back knee bends and straightens, and then leaning forward, we come to balance on that left foot. The right knee comes into the square position in front of us, and then we land it back behind us, arms straight up. So bend the knee, going lower to the ground and up, and then balance on the front leg and back. We're trying to go for 8 more of those. So bending and up, balancing and back. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. Drop the hands down to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Second side, float the right toes all the way up high to the sky. And step that foot in between the hands. Walk your hands up to the thigh. And then swing the arms up overhead. Remember, you can take breaks if you need to, otherwise we're going for 10. First, dip the knee down and up, and then come onto the front foot and back. Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Drop the hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. Feet begin to walk forward until we get to stretch them out in a nice forward fold up at the top of our mat. Next inhale brings us up to standing. So from here, we're creating a couple of sequences, repeating exercises for 10 cycles. So first, we're starting off with our calf lifts. Slow motion lift the heels up and heels lower down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel to the feet close so that big toe is touching and heels are slightly separated. And from here, we take a little squat sitting back into chair pose. The arms swing up by the ears, we set the hips back and raise back up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going back down into that fierce pose. Stay, and from here, try to lift the heels up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Straighten the legs back out. Spread the feet about as wide as the mat. And from here, 10 squats. We can leave the hands at the heart. Set the hips back as low as you can. And up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're almost there. Goddess pose. The legs get to go wide. A nice 45-degree angle. And so from here, the arms start off up overhead and everything bends down and straightening. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dropping the hands onto the thighs. Stay in the squat leg position. Make sure you have balance. So that might mean the back is leaning forward a little bit, but it's staying straight and it's supported by the arms from this position. So from here, try to lift up the heels and lower them down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Let's drop the hands to the ground. You can always choose a different variation if you prefer hands walking through the legs or reaching for the ankles, whatever's working, whatever it is that helps us to find length and that nice stretch through all those muscles that we just warmed up. Walk the hands closer to the right leg and bend the right knee. You can be high up, or maybe you can squat down to this low lunge for that inner thigh stretch. And shift it over to the left leg. Lengthening back up. Feel yourself dropping down again. Both hands clasp around right ankle. Try to pull your heart in toward the right leg. And then over to the left leg. Dropping the hands down, walk them up to the top of the mat. Step back, we're in a nice downward facing dog. Lowering down to the knees, shift the hips back. Enjoy this little gift of child pose. Simply resting down. Feeling this connection of the forehead down to the earth. Child pose is really good for stretching quads and also allowing the low back to get a nice little stretch. If you don't feel it at all, bring your knees a little bit closer. Otherwise, wide knees is a great gift. Slithering forward onto our bellies. We grab the right toes with the right hand. When you pull it in, the quad stretch gets to be deepened even more. Release and grab onto left toes. Okay, when you release, roll onto your back for a moment. Reach the arms up overhead, inhale. Exhale, sit all the way up and stretch over both straight legs. Rising up, plant the left foot. Take the right ankle up onto that left thigh. And here we take a hip opener. So some of us are just going to be pushing the right hand into the right knee. Some of us maybe need to scoot the bottom foot in closer. There might be one or two of us able to do the full clasp around. It's not a competition to get here. This is just what you may need to do to get into that hip opener at all. The bottom foot, that left one, swivels over to the right side and it drops both shins to stack on top of one another. If that's not working, take a simple cross-legged shape instead. Lift the posture up tall and then walk the hands forward. Getting into those glutes, stretching them out. So important to stretch out all the muscles before we take our break at the end. As we rise up, take just a little while to massage this right foot. It worked so hard doing all those calf lifts that we required of it. So make sure that it knows that we love it, we support it. We're not going to abuse it the rest of the day. It did all that was required for this point. And then when we drop the right foot to the ground, take the left ankle up. Maybe we're pushing that left knee open. Maybe we're sliding the right foot in to steepen the depth. Or maybe that full hug is available today. And the right foot swivels over to the left side, lift the posture tall, walk the hands forward. And when we come back up, give this foot that little bit of love. This is our way of saying thank you for these legs, for this foot that worked so hard throughout the class. As you finish that up, find yourself gently rolling onto your back. And here we get to breathe and relax for a couple of minutes together to give our body a chance to integrate all the benefits of this practice we just had. Simply let your breath flow in and out. Begin to introduce little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. And eventually rolling over to a nice fetal position off to one side. Here, take 3 more breaths before we raise all the way up. And as we rise, we find our hands joining together in front of our heart. We thank our legs for the support that they were today. We thank them for carrying us forward into such a fun and such a strong class. And we take them as our symbol that will help to carry us forward, propelling us in toward our goals, toward this future of our dreams. With all this to help lead us onward, we wrap up this class with a silent Om. We inhale, and on the exhale in our minds, we say Om through the entire duration of that exhale. Inhaling now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.